Hey guys, today I'm gonna show you top 5 ADC champions that you can pick in solo queue and climb consistently in new patch. Watch this video till the end to learn who is the best ADC champion. But before we started, here is a quick tip that you can apply in your game instantly. Almost every summoner spell got nerfed, so Barrier is one of the best spells in the game right now. You can take short trades with it due to low cooldown, and you can survive burst with it much easier than with heal. So, let me explain how I will rate champions. I will judge them by win rate in patch 14.10 because it shows current champion power. How good is champion blind, because most of the time you are picking ADC blind. Build diversity and optimization, because every game is different and you need to be flexible in the way you approach the game in order to win. So, let's start it. 5th place is Vayne. Yeah, she's not looking good because she doesn't benefit from crit as much as other champions. But in a new patch most of crit champions will be nerfed with Infinity Edge and Collector nerfs, so Vayne should benefit from it very greatly. Also, if you look at her items, we will see that only 19% of the players playing with Kraken first, when it's her best item. About build, she has 3 different options. If you are facing an easy draft for Vayne, you can play full aggressive runes with PTA and Domination as second tree, with Sudden Impact and Eyeball Collector. Then build Kraken into Trinity and just play around short trades. If you are facing hard draft, when enemy team has a lot of threats, you can play Fleet with Conditioning and Overgrowth, and try to survive as long as you can. You can check more information about this build from the info box in the top right. 3rd build is if you need a lot of DPS, versus a lot of tanks for example. Then you are playing with PTA and Resolve second. And with build you can go Kraken into Borg or PD. Rageblade with Terminus are optional. If we talk about draft phase, she also has 3 good advantages. First one, she is flexible on other roles, so enemy team won't know where Vayne will go. Second one is, she has a lot of true damage, so you won't be scared to play versus a lot of tanks. And third, you won't suffer as much as other ADCs if your team will draft full AD. So with all of that being said, she's deserving 5th place in my video. 4th one is, sadly it's not Jhin, it's Jinx. Yes, she will be nerfed, and EA nerf will also put her down a bit, but she has a lot of win rate right now, so even if she will drop 2% of win rate, she will still be decent. Looking at her items, we won't see where we can optimize her better than other players do. So the only thing I can advise to you is be flexible with her first item. If you don't have enough gold for BF Sword, you can go Kraken into EE PD second. If you have enough money for BF, you can go BF into PD and Runan first, and complete EE second. BT, Yuntal, Shieldbow, LDR third are optional. About runes. Versus easy or average draft for Jinx, you will go PTA with Absolute Focus and Gathering Storm second. Also, you can try to change it to Fleet and to Celerity instead of Absolute Focus if you need more move speed. If draft looks hard and you are not sure that you will be able to auto-attack, it's Fleet with Last Stand and Conditioning with Overgrowth. Draft phase. It's one of the main reasons why she is still in the top. Despite not having good flexibility to other roles or mixed damage, she's a good blind pick because she can do a lot of different stuff in the game. She can be front to back DPS carry, she can follow hard engage with her ult, she can help catch people with her W and ult, and she has great execute for poke composition, so she will be useful in most drafts. That's why she is top 4 in my video. Top 3 is Jhin. He's the best ADC with short trades right now. And if Infinity Edge nerf will hit him a little bit, he won't notice Collector nerf, because he can just switch it to Yuntal. So with build, there is no choice. You will go Infinity Edge first every game. If you can't buy BF due to poor recalls, you can also buy Zeal before completing EE. So your build will be EE, Zeal, Yuntal and RFC PD Runan in most games. Or you can sit on Zeal and buy BT third instead. Runes. You will play Fleet into Gathering Storm and Celerity second. You can switch Celerity to Nimbus Cloak if you will need a lot of move speed in the short amount of time. If enemy team has a lot of threats, you can switch it to Overgrowth and Conditioning, and build Shieldbow with BT for better survivability. Draft phase. He has the same thing as Jinx, but he is doing it a little bit worse. Jhin is still a decent blind option, but it's easier to punish and limiting your support to pick Engage or Mage champs, which can be bad if your support likes to play Enchanters. But, despite not the best draft phase, he is very strong, so Jhin is a solid top 3 in my list. Second is Kog'Maw. He was already overbuffed before new split, but he got weaker due to lethal tempo removal. Still, he is almost the best ADC in the game with right build. So, what is his build? Despite 88% of the players building Blade of the Ruined King or Rage Blade first, it's much better to play with Kraken instead. Kog loves everything about that item. Next, you are not forced to build Rage Blade second. Navori, Runan or Vitz are all decent options that you can choose in different situations. Terminus, Borg, Rage Blade and PD are optional. Runes, you will play PTA Resolve second every game. Both Cut Down and Last Stand are good options for Kog'Maw, so you will choose them depending on the game. You can also take Bone Placing instead of Conditioning, if enemies won't be able to proc it before fight. Draft phase. Kog'Maw is actually the worst blind out of all champions in this list, because he likes only certain team compositions, like when his team can protect him or when he is able to support allies poke with E's and ults. Also, if you will pick Kog blind, you will get Lulu or Milio almost every time, which can be not optimal in some situations. But his draft phase is compensating by his power, so he deserves second place in my list. First and the best ADC after new changes is Ashe. She doesn't benefit from crit that much, but she is not an on-hit champion too, and she is fine with losing lethal tempo. So with all of that, she is the best ADC champion. About her build. She has insane diversity in builds. Versus easy drafts you can go Kraken first, PD second and deal insane amount of damage with autos and auto resets on Q. If enemies will be close to each other, you can play Runan instead of PD, and it will be fine too. If you are facing hard draft and you won't be able to auto-attack, you can play Trinity into buffed Shellbow and BT. And even with this low damage build, she will be very useful, because she can bite enemies to go on her, and she has a lot of slow for her team. If you are facing average draft, it's better to play Kraken into Trinity. It provides you both damage and durability, so you will be able to survive in a lot of fights. About runes, you have two different options. You can go PTA with Upsurge Life and Cut Down. Then Inspiration second with Boots and Approach Velocity, if draft looks easy or average. You can also try to play with Chip Shot and Ultimate Hunter in secondaries, if you think that there will be a lot of fights. And if you think that game will be slow, you can play Sorcery with Absolute Focus and Gathering Storm. If draft looks hard, you can switch PTA to Fleet, Absorb Life to Triumph and Cut Down to Last Stand. As secondaries, you will choose Conditioning and Overgrowth. About draft phase. She has the best draft phase among other champions in this list. She will be useful no matter what, if you know how to utilize her slow passive, E's and ults. So she is clearly the best champion in my video. Overall, my list looks like this: Vayne, Jinx, Jhin, Kog'Maw and Ashe. I hope that you found this video useful, and you learned a lot about builds and runes that you can use for these champions. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, it really motivates me to continue. Thank you and goodbye.